Welcome back to a new edition of Talk Dirty to Me.
Hair edition. It's been a while since we've done this. It's been a year.
I think it's a year.
Yeah, I've been focusing on my salon and the move, and I got married, which is really cool. And Tash, what have you been doing?
A lot happened. So I've been traveling quite a lot. Did some training overseas, got back, went for another training overseas, got back, went for another training overseas. So it's been busy. Yeah. We've been busy.
We're really excited to be back.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for today's episode. So today we're actually going to talk about something in the hair industry internationally that's been trending. I don't know if you know Hair by Chrissy.
Yes, I do.
So there was a big controversy revolving her. There was a client that actually went to her and spent $4,000 on her hair. How much is that in rand?
A hell of a lot.
Yeah, I almost swore. That's a lot. So she spent $4,000 on her hair, and she said that Chrissy essentially only touched her hair for about 60 seconds. It's on TikTok. I watched the TikTok video this morning, and she complained and she said there were people tugging at her hair from all different sides. It was a very overwhelming experience for her. Her inspo pic and what her hair looked like from a professional standpoint, I think it's pretty close. Her roots were slightly darker than the inspo pic. However, she did ask for like a shadow root. Yeah. So I think that's also up to interpretation, what the result was like. But it's a really nice thing to talk about with regards to luxury salons and how we charge clients with regards to how much time we actually spend on the client's hair.
For me, it's like, where's that balance? When we're looking at high-end salons, most of us do have helpers. Most of us do have operators that assist.
Yeah.
So it's almost finding that balance from a hairstylist point of view, because we do need the help, you know, especially if you've got volume in the salon, especially if you've got a couple of clients in your chairs. But how much is too much and how little is too little? I don't know. From my perspective, I think, if I think about an operator, not where I am now. Today I work solely on my own. So yes, from start go, walking into my salon to leaving, I'm the only one that touches your hair.
Yeah. So you obviously do the consultation, you wash the hair, you apply the color, you pass foils to yourself when you're doing highlights. Everything you do.
I do, absolutely. That's amazing. From walk-in. Look, if I have got volume, let's say for instance, which we don't want to focus on as volume, right? We want that special time one-on-one with a client.
Yeah.
But if I do have a booking that is, let's say, 10 clients on one day, I might get a person in that will assist me, but that will literally just be for passing foils, rinsing, basically the back bar. The rest I still manage. I still do that. So from your side, like when you're at Mercury, do you guys have an assistant from start go?
Yeah.
Is it only you touching the client?
When you think of small salons, you don't have the facilities to have as many clients in at once. I know, especially my salon where I was, I could only have, not the previous one, the previous salon, I could only see one client at a time, because if I had more than one client, our salon was full.
Yes.
Because the space was so limited. So back when I was smaller, I 100% would touch my clients from beginning to end. I mean, I also started without an assistant. It was just me. That's how I built up. I built my salon from 2 chairs, two mirrors, and just me. And now I'm in a space where we have 16 stations. We have capacity for so much more. So in busy times, like in December, when you're super fully booked and clients are like, please, can you squeeze me in? I usually do tell them that, okay, I am going to squeeze you in, but are you okay with my assistant doing your blow dry? Are you okay with my assistant applying your color? They know that obviously I'll be there overseeing. Personally, I love to be involved with my clients. I would never have a client come in and my assistant does them from beginning to end, because they do come to see you.
100%.
They also don't come for the salon, they come for the stylist.
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, there is also a controversial discussion where do people, especially when you're looking at your bigger chain stores, your bigger hairdressing salons, where do they go for the name of the salon, or do they actually visit for the stylist? So I think in your perspective with Mercury, I think they still come to visit you, although Mercury is is your brand name.
Yes, yeah.
But when they're booked with Corlia, they want to see Corlia.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's maybe where this TikTok stems from, is that she wanted to have that appointment with her.
Yeah.
And
Because it's hair by Chrissy, right? It's not
100%,
hair
so-
by Chrissy's assistants.
Exactly. So I think that is where this whole debacle came in, is that she touched her hair maybe for a couple of seconds and then
Yeah.
had 4 or 5 other people doing her actual hair.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think assistance, if you're privileged enough to have it,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you've grown that much where you've got that assistance, when your client is going to be in contact with anybody else, they need to be introduced. They need to be asked, is it fine
Yeah,
if this
are you
person,
comfortable?
are you comfortable with this person carrying out the service,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I think you also know some clients go, they're desperate, they want a retouch up, and you go, I'm just so fully booked.
Yeah.
But they know your assistant by name, and they'll go, okay, but will she be able to do my color?
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got both ends. Like
Yeah.
you get people that's really comfortable. I always said, I had some clients coming to me, I'm sure only for my operator, because she gave a mean ass, sorry for my language, massage at the back bar. You
I always
know?
joke and say, like, I think 80% of the reason my clients come back is because of the massage.
Exactly.
So I'm eternally grateful for it. I'm
Exactly.
not going to
That's why I say I
complain.
think there's 2 sides of a story, but I do think when it comes to like a global application, or when it comes to rinsing color and having that beautiful experience at the back bar, I think it's important to have that extra help, you know, because it gives that client a little bit of more quality service as well. But I do think, especially when it comes to technical things, if it comes to
Highlights
techniques,
and
highlights,
balayage.
balayages, this is something, and you can see on her picture, she's got a beautiful face frame. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a global application;
No.
it was a technique, you
Yeah.
know. So I think that's where you're paying the stylist that you've booked with
Yeah.
that for that time that you booked for,
Yeah.
and still being charged the exact same amount whether she touched her hair or not. I do feel that's completely unfair.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think it's extremely normal for assistants to do global colors, blow dries, and obviously treatments at the base. And for me, that's how our salon works. But when it comes to technical applications like balayage, highlights, I would never let my assistant do that,
No. I think
unfortunately.
upskilling great, but
Yeah.
then they should be doing that on their own clients, you
Yeah.
know, or ask her a little bit more of an
Yes.
affordable price.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think just, you know, and especially overseas, I don't think here so much, maybe here, well, with Mercury as well, I know you've got junior stylists and you've got your senior stylists, where there is a big price difference as well, you
Yeah,
know, not
we
a
do
big,
price
but
differently for
there
it.
needs to be a price difference,
Yeah.
because either you're seeing a senior stylist or you're seeing a junior stylist, and I think from that aspect, she still was charged the exact same amount.
Yeah.
And did she even know the qualifications of the other people touching
Yeah.
her? You know?
Oftentimes, there's always ways to resolve an issue without going to the internet, but it's good for us because it's made for a really interesting conversation. And like, I would love to hear from other hairstylists,
100%.
from other clients, what their perspective is on this. So definitely drop us a comment and let us know what you're thinking. If you would be comfortable, had you known the assistant, had you not know the assistant, if it was junior stylists, or if you think it's just completely ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you think as South African hairdressers, we almost all jack of all trades? You know, all of us do gents
Yeah.
grooming, all of us do balayages, all of us do
Yes.
reds, coppers, color
Yeah.
corrections. Where overseas as well, when you're known for a speciality, that is why people have booked by you.
Yeah,
You know.
completely agreed. I think specialities in South Africa is only happening
Now.
We're always a little bit behind, which is not a bad thing. I read an interesting comparison, kind of makes you think as well. So if you're ordering a Vera Wang dress, she designed it, but she didn't make it.
Yeah.
And you're well aware of that.
Correct.
Right? And no one has an issue with that. However, people have an issue with the stylist overseeing. You're uncomfortable with who's applying the color, even though they might have been specially trained by that stylist to do the technique.
Maybe it's also
exactly
like
how she
a
would.
personal sector, you know, like somebody touches you. It's an intimate space as well. Maybe that's why it's a little bit different as well, because you're letting somebody in. I mean, you see overseas when they book appointments, when they're in the consultation, they actually ask permission ma'am, may I touch you?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that,
I've seen it. I'm sorry. I think it's the most ridiculous.
Exactly, because I mean, you've come to me for your hair. Of course, I'm going to touch you.
Yeah, how am I going to do your hair without touching you?
Exactly. So,
That is also very
maybe it's
controversial.
also a little bit different because it is such a personal thing, I mean, I think we spoke about it, or I mentioned it earlier. I remember in the beginning of my hairdressing career that I was like petrified of cutting men's hair, just because of that closeness that you come to whoever hair you're styling, whatever hair you're doing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the issue as well,
Yeah, like I hear what you're saying, and also I think sometimes this is where luxury salons miss the mark because they forget you're still working with people, and the more you grow and the bigger you get, the more you lose that interpersonal connection that you're having with your clients. And a lot of clients want that. They just want to go to the hair salon and they don't want to talk to anyone, and that's amazing, especially in the city. Like that happens all the time, where you can book a silent appointment where you don't have to talk to the stylist. But a lot of my clients, I think a lot of them actually want therapy a lot more than they want hair.
Agreed.
Which is all good. Like I'm there for it. I like the personal connection that we have to our
to
clients.
me, I think that's what makes us so uniquely different, is that, like you say, we therapists sometimes as well, we can't be paid for that. Sometimes I wish I can. We in that space where we can literally turn it around, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their situation, and still have an influence on how, on the outer side, how they look.
Yeah.
And that makes them feel better. That boosts that energy as well. So I think it's actually such a privilege, this job, to be able to have not control over that, but have such a big input in somebody's mood and morale.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. I saw a post from Andrew, Running with Scissors, and he actually made a post that I thought was quite interesting. So obviously there's some stylists that absolutely adore having the ability to kind of, I don't want to say therapize, but to be there and to be supportive, and other stylists really, really struggle with that. And he actually made a post and he was like, you're not a therapist, and you don't have to be a therapist, which is also like for those stylists who don't feel like they have the capacity to carry something for someone else. I think that's also beautiful, but then your boundaries need to be really strong
100%.
Because automatically when a client sits in your chair, they're already trusting you with their appearance. That's why they just start word vomiting and trauma dumping, because they're in a space of trust with you already.
jumping back to that is that she wanted that quality time, whether for what aspect, for if it's the skill set, if it was for the salon name. Like she said in the video, everybody goes there and makes 70,000 TikTok videos. It's quite I mean, that's how we grow business these days. It's
100%.
through TikToks and social media.
Unfortunately.
But does it eventually get to a point that we're so focused on creating content, we're so focused on being an influencer, we're so focused on building our brand, that you take that personal attribute that you give to somebody sitting in your chair, servicing them and really giving them the best service that you possibly can? Are we taking away from that?
Yeah, this is such a valid point. If we are taking away from the personal connection because of social media and all of this other responsibilities that, like 10 years ago, we didn't have all of this. We didn't have to be a social media manager. We didn't have to be a photographer.
It's hard work now.
We didn't have to do any of this, and now this is the only way to stay relevant. Like, then no wonder, because that's a lot for one person
100%.
or like one business to take. It's overwhelming.
But that's why I say, if you take a couple of years ago, right, the only way or the best way to grow your business would have been through word of mouth.
100%.
Right?
I think it's still one of the best ways, but
Agree.
Yeah,
But
if you don't-
now, if I am a person that wants the best, most incredible, I saw this inspiration on a beautiful balayage, and I don't have a relationship with my hairstylist, or I don't have a hairdresser, or loyal to somebody. I just want to go to the best in showbiz. Where am I going to go get that research? Is on social media.
or ChatGPT.
Or ChatGPT is. I'm going to go and look for them. So you don't have a relationship with Corlia, the blonde specialist now.
Yeah.
But you've got a brand. Your social media is epic. Your TikTok is great. Now I have this huge expectation of what Mercury is going to give me. As soon as I walk in that door, like, the
does it
TikToks
live
or
up
the
to the
social
hype?
media tells me this is what I'm going to experience. Best coffee, reception is amazing, consultation is incredible. So I've got this expectation. Walking in there, you come and greet me, you maybe consult me for 10 minutes, and then I don't see you again until the blow dries down. You go, are you happy?
No, that's disappointing. Yeah,
You give
I
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
disappointed.
And maybe
as a
that
client.
is where that fine line of, yes, we need social media to grow our business. Yes, we need to use all of these aspects. And like you say, it's bloody hard work. Maybe she had a celebrity in her chair and that's why she couldn't touch the normal
normal
client,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
that's why I say it's such a fine line, Kulia.
It's a
Like, where
very
do we
fine
stop
line.
it? Where do we? Because at the end of the day, all of us scroll TikTok. You know, I'm on ChatGPT constantly asking them questions. Is your
think that's
social
why-
media so authentic that I know
Yes.
if I walk into your salon, exactly what they're explaining happens on the TikToks or social media or Instagram? Is that what I'm going to get when I walk into your salon?
I think that's why it's so extremely important to make or to represent your brand on social media as authentically as you possibly can. Even if you are a salon that does not give a shit about the client.
Yes.
Tell them that so that they know what to expect.
Yeah, they come in for good service and that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that.
But there's no false advertising involved. Like, my space is very much a space that's for, especially Mercury Pro Hair. We've got Mercury Man now, but Mercury Pro Hair is a space for women. I'm not advertising it as a space for men, because that's not what it is. And then it makes it so much easier, because then you also attract the clients that are definitely meant for you,
100%.
which is good. And when they come in, they're not disappointed, because you don't think, oh, I've got a gent coming in and he's disappointed that we don't really do gents hair, you know?
Yes.
So
Also,
authenticity
just
is super important.
Stay authentic to yourself. You know, whatever it is, whatever service it is, whatever type of clientele you want to attract to Mercury or whatever salon you are, I think that is something that needs to be stated in your social media. You know, it's something that if you are a blonde specialist, that's what you should be doing. And if somebody comes to you for, nobody else should be touching her foils. Nobody else should be doing to the technique if you are the blonde specialist and I'm paying for your service, you know. And I think these days as well, what's weird for me is that maybe also more in South Africa, I think we're quite transparent when it comes to pricing, right?
I'm extremely
It has to be.
transparent. Yeah.
I mean, most of us use booking systems where they can actually see yes, it's an estimate. They've got a more or less budget that they know they've worked with and they've seen the pricing. And if it is that a client maybe selected something that it's not what they're supposed to do, I think it's something that will come up in consultation going, you know what, you did book for balayage, but it's actually a full head of highlights that the inspo pic you're showing me. So for me as well, on that video, again, when she showed the price tag, was that not discussed prior to a service? You know, did she not have a quote or because most of the people that come to me, when I've sat them down and we do a thorough consultation, I give them a more or less estimate. You know, this is what your highlights is going to cost, or your balayage, this is toner, this is a treatment, this is the custom blow dry. So also, was she really be kept in the dark on that pricing? That
was a proper consultation actually done? Because I think if there was a proper consultation done, none of this probably would have happened. Yeah. She could have said, listen, I'm actually super fully booked today, as I am, because I'm a celebrity hairstylist or whatever it may be. So my team, who have been trained by me, they're going to be doing your hair, but I'm overseeing everything, and I'm going to make you feel safe and seen and heard throughout the whole process. And this is what it's going to cost, an estimation roughly. I don't think that was done.
But that's why I say, like, did she go in completely blind, just knowing that she wants to be serviced by her, not knowing the price implication, not knowing any of that? You know, for me as well, and I'm sure you can relate, Kulia, is that the type of people that works at Mercury, right? The type of people that you want to employ at your salon, you want them to have the same standard as you. You want them to be skill set on the level that you are. I'm not talking about the juniors, they're still building, right? So, but that's where you're seeing them to be there, right?
Yeah.
So also in that aspect, I'm sure whoever touched her hair was probably more than qualified to be able to touch her
Yeah,
hair.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because that is her reputation as well.
Yeah.
Yes, she might have been the core person she wanted to, but I can promise you she didn't allow anybody else to touch the hair that she didn't also trust.
Yeah.
And the skill set was there.
Yes.
But is that fair? Is that still...
Yeah.
I can see it from a perspective of, but my staff is also trained exactly
Yes.
as I
But
won't
also,
be
why don't they?
employing them.
Yeah, why don't they then get booked with the staff? You know what I mean? Then don't take on new clients anymore, and tell people this is my staff that works for me. They're fantastic. They can do exactly what I can
trained by
do.
me.
This is their name. This is their speciality. This is what they look like. Because, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess she's found a way to scale her business, which is amazing. From a financial standpoint. Yeah, I don't know.
You, a salon owner, like I don't work every day in the salon. I train most of you guys, the stylists, in salons and do courses. But if I work on a Saturday, right? I don't have the capacity to take any new clients. I literally just service my loyal bees that's always been with me. So if I think about my regulars coming in every 4 to 6 weeks, 'cause that's what I do basically, right? Is I know you, we've walked a path together, we've got great relationship, I know your hair, I know everything about you. So to be fair and honest with you, I don't sit and have a half an hour consultation with them anymore.
Yeah,
You
because
get
you
what
know
I'm saying?
them.
Because I
You
know
know
them,
them
and
better.
I mean it's
Yeah.
the same people. So
Yes.
they come in, we chat. Were you happy with your hair? Are you still happy with the haircut? You know, should we change? Did you enjoy the toner?
But that's kind of like a mini consultation.
Yeah, so
you know?
there's always an aspect to it. You know,
Yeah.
you want to follow up. Did you like what I gave you the last time? But I know it's crunch time for me on a Saturday. You know,
Yeah.
getting through all my clients. So from your perspective, how different is a regular consultation to you, and how long time do you spend on that? And if it's a brand new client, what do you guys think is the right amount of time to actually sit and consult?
Yeah, look, I think it's all about asking the right questions. And I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so I can do a very, very thorough, very good consultation in 15 minutes, just because I've done it so many times. But sometimes it requires a lot more, because sometimes you do get a client who doesn't necessarily know what they want, and I love
you almost need to
educating.
navigate that.
Yes, yeah, and I love educating my clients so that they can make informed decisions. So I would say I think the perfect time for a consultation, I actually have a little slot so you can book for a consultation, a complimentary consultation. We don't charge for it, and it's half an hour. And then I know I have half an hour with this client to go from A to Z, and we talk about everything that they want, where they've been, where they are, where they're going. I think consultations are extremely important, just because I always want to be on the same page as my clients. And oftentimes I've noticed people like rushing through. So I mean, again, it happens.
It's a
You're
rat race,
busy.
right?
You're
Always a
busy
rat
on a
race.
Saturday, but I always try and just give my clients like at least 5 minutes before, if they are regulars, to just chat to them and not just send them as they come into the salon. I always seat them first. We have a little chat, and then I tell them, okay, cool, I'm going to send you through to the basin area, rather than them walking in and me just sending them straight through to the basin.
Okay, now I'm going to be
because of
devil's
the
advocate
rushing.
again, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you say you guys do complimentary consultation, right?
Yes.
So to me, there's a big difference doing a, like you say, proper, thorough consultation in 15 minutes, because it is possible, right? But now I'm a bride and my wedding is coming up, and I want your full attention. I need to speak to you about color, future appointments, getting my hair ready, treatments, extensions, you know, all of that, and what my wedding venue looks like.
Yes.
Will you be coming? How big is my bridal party?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
both know this conversation is not 15 minutes,
No,
right?
that is not. That is
so
not.
let's say your bride's here and you're sitting a full hour. So I'm putting this question out to you guys as well. When do we start charging for consultation, or should you then be charging for a consultation? Think about any other personal sector, not hairstyling, going for aesthetics. You could doing a Botox, you seeing the dentist, you whatever else. there is a consultation fee.
Yeah, 100%. So how am I, and I hear you and I do agree, how am I have two answers.
You can only have one.
Yeah. So how any salon's pricing should be worked out, in my opinion, is the cost per hour, how much it costs you to run the salon per hour, right?
Do you think stylists do it, babe?
No, I don't think they do it, but they should do it. It's the best way to make sure that you actually do make a profit. I don't really have services that are less than 30 minutes. My consultation is my shorter service unless it's a fringe trim, but again, for regular clients, we also don't charge for fringe trims. I think once it goes over half an hour, you should charge.
Agreed, because this is where it becomes your time, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, on your booking system, you say there is a 15-minute consultation for free. So it's been booked in Booksy or whatever program you're using. I'm not sure which one you're using.
Yeah, Fresher. Yeah.
Fresher. You see, free advertising. No, I'm joking. So let's say, for instance, I've booked my 15 minutes on Fresher with you. Now you've allocated that in your slot, right? Only 15 minutes. But now your next client does walk in. That is a full balayage. It is a service that's maybe 2-3 hours that you've booked. And you're sitting with this and you know this consultation is not going to be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's also having that balance of being professional, going, oh, my other client's in, and you keep on talking.
Yeah,
right?
Like, exactly. So with regards
would you rebook it then?
Yeah.
Or how would...
For argument's sake, let's say it's a bride. So I try not to overwhelm my brides, especially because I've been a bride.
Right.
Gosh, there's so much that you have to do. So you can almost break it up into sections for them. So you can do your consultation and chat about when the wedding is, where the venue is, how many people, give the quote. You can cover that in the first one. Then you can almost separate it into the color and the cut and the styling and the treatments and things like that. Rather separate it and work a plan out and say to them, so we're not going to have time today to run through everything, but I also don't want to confuse you. So for today, let's just discuss this. Then the next time you come in, we're going to discuss this and this and this. And then the next time, this and this and this. So that they actually have a plan. And I think it's important to have notes with regards to your client record cards, because you're not going to remember.
Yeah.
You can have...
Look, I think at the end of the day, managing that expectation, you know, I think any and every bride feels that it's the most important day of your life. And you want whoever's going to be involved there to really feel that way, or like also really bring their side. So I think also because you're authentically and you're honest, saying, listen, I'm not going to confuse you. Let's start with one thing, you know.
Yes.
We
I think they'd appreciate that so much more.
Little bit by little bit, you know, and then say to her, I always say this to my client, write it down or remember it. I said, or send it to yourself when you do see me, then we can talk about it.
Or send it to me on WhatsApp.
Yes, keep it in the pocket.
Yeah.
And when you come and see me, jumping back to that, I think it's amazing that you've got that free consultation. And I think it's almost something that we forget to do. I don't forget, I just don't have that type of client base that I need to do it that much, you know. But I think it's so important, because I think that's where some things just get lost in translation, 100%. You know.
That's where the confusion and not being on the same page comes up. It's just when the communication wasn't 100% clear.
And that's why it's so important. Like if I show you a reference picture and I go, I love this lived-in strawberry blonde, and you're like, it's copper. So it's so important, because some clients don't actually know what they want.
No,
like you say.
They don't. And I've had consultations where someone has said to me they want a old money blonde, right? Now, for us, old money blonde is like a slightly warmer blonde,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah. It's more to the warmish side of things.
Exactly. But then she showed me like a proper platinum ash blonde. And I was like, this is so good that she showed me the photo, because what you see is what I see.
We were on completely
different pages. And then when you're still a bit confused, you ask for more photos. I just recently made a post that said, like, I love ChatGPT and I love AI photos. And when my clients bring me inspo pics that are realistic and not like, okay, I have black hair, I want to be...
I think that is a completely different episode.
AI.
Yeah. pictures or inspos.
Not a lot of
because-
people like it, but again, I educate my clients so they bring me stuff that's realistic. And obviously they know it's not going to look exactly like that. And they come in, they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be the AI person. And they always apologize and they're like, I know it's not going to look exactly like this because it's AI, but just so that you know, this is what I'm wanting. And I love it. I think it gives clients a little bit more freedom to go, this is what I like, this is what I don't
But that's
like.
why I say they put the proper prompt in, you know,
Yes.
exactly, this is my likes, this is my dislikes, and AI generates this beautiful picture. I think AI is probably one of the best tools that's out there, honestly, business-wise, education-wise,
Yeah.
but not being used correctly
Yeah.
can be detrimental to that
Yes.
picture that you get. Sometimes that inspo pic just, I want to lose my brain sometimes, you know, or they've got black hair with, they bring this inspo pic of AI with this beautiful platinum blondes. You're like, we might get there in a year and a half's time. So, but like I said, that could be a complete different episode.
We need to chat about that.
We need to chat about AI and what's happening with AI, especially in our industry.
Yeah.
But coming back to where we started, as I think our time is also almost there for this episode, how would you have handled that situation? And let's ask the people as well to come back to us. How would you have handled if you found a TikTok or a video on a client, because it can be so detrimental to your business. People don't realize what social media can do. It can ruin you. What would be your steps going forward? What would you have done?
Yeah, as a stylist and as a client, I think we'd love to hear from both. How would you feel? How would you, as a stylist, would you reach out to the client?
Yeah, what would you do?
I
How do you
would.
fix this?
Yeah.
Like, how do you fix this? And also, I am sure with her social media presence that's so big, somebody had to say, listen, that post is there.
Yeah.
Or that social
And
media
it's
thing is there,
growing,
and
and it's gone
you know,
viral,
and
yeah.
you're so popular.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
It's exactly that. It's
Because
exactly
she's trending.
that. Exactly
I
that.
didn't know who Hair by Chrissy was. Now I
100%.
know who Chrissy is.
Exactly.
Like
Just because of that one viral, sit the blazer, you know?
Kijk, gaan we doen 'n blazer. My husband's English,
But
he
it
doesn't
just went
understand.
amazing.
He
Oh, he
doesn't understand the
doesn't.
hype, and I'm like, no, but you have to. It's you can't explain it, and then it makes it not so funny.
You won't get that concept. You won't get it unless you've got the same, how can I say, sense of humor first and foremost, okay?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Because can I be honest with you, I never saw hers. I just started
Yes.
seeing all this, kyk hoe lyk hierdie, and kyk hoe this blazer, and look at
Yeah.
this, and I was like,
So you
what
saw
is
the
this?
trending version of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this thing? You know, what? And then eventually I was like, oh.
Yes.
And you know, kudos to her, like your husband says, no publicity or no social media
No.
reaching that hype is bad.
Yeah.
She could turn this around.
Kyk, we doen 'n consultation. Kyk gou.
Kyk,
we doen 'n consultation.
Exactly. If something else did come up, maybe we can post a story there that they can actually see what we were talking about. Because some of our viewers might not even know, have an idea what we were talking about.
I'll link the TikTok video below, and
if there's a follow-up, you know,
we'll let
keep
you know. We'll
posted,
keep you posted.
if Chrissy did reach out or
Yes.
get back to the client and make this issue right.
Amazing.
I think that's the time that we've got today. It was fun being here.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having-
Tash.
Yes. Have a good day. See you next time.
Bye.